encompass the entire Philippines for that matter, and it can go out of the boundaries of the Philippines. So that makes it what? Reaching to a wider market or customer. All right. And of course, support for innovation and new businesses like new business models like e-commerce. Actually, they're not new anymore, but they have been there, right, since several decades ago. And of course, the practice of work from home or the remote work, right? So this is during the onset of the pandemic, okay? Ayan. So those are a lot of benefits that we can identify. But however, effective management of ICT use, particularly the associated self-discipline, is critical to harness its full positive potential and avoid potential negative impacts on employee work-life balance. All right. So what's this? Is this 1A or 1B? Anyway, is there somebody sending me a message in 2B pala. Alright, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ayan. So, affecting the work-life balance in effect, di ba? Okay, so on slide 14, social media, alright? Messaging apps and online entertainment. They are platforms which rely on ICT to connect people, support social interaction, and provide personalized experiences, right? So ICT have transformed personal and social activities by enabling those instant global communications through social media and video calls, facilitating entertainment through streaming services and online gaming, right? So providing convenient access to information, and thereby improving daily management through digital tools, right? So while all of these technologies offer a lot of benefits, such as enhanced social connections and access to resources, they can also present challenges like potential physical inactivity. What do we mean by physical inactivity? If you are engaged too much in your online gaming, in your education, in whatever you're doing, so that means you are just seated in front of your device the entire day. So that limits your physical activity. There are even times that you tend to forget to eat, you tend to forget to go to the comfort room. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay? What about reduced real world interactions? So, have you tried going out with your families, with your friends for some dinner or from some get together, right? But everybody is busy tinkering about their cell phone instead of mingling with one another. Tama? So that reduces our interaction with one another. See the effect? And of course, once we are engaged in our device, in what the ICT can offer, there is a tendency that we encounter the information overload. Crystal, naglalag pa rin ako. Can you check? Crystal? Okay na. Thank you. Oh, there's always a tendency that since the internet in the Philippines is not so efficient as it is in other parts of the globe, right? So we tend to experience that in one way or another. We experience lag, we experience disconnections, and all of those things. But we understand that, okay? So thank you for informing me. All right, now, so which again result to information overload. All right. Okay. Thank you, Honey Rose. Thank you, Crystal. Now, moving on. ICT's influence on society is multifaceted. I don't know if you agree with me, and you have to agree with me because it brings a lot of benefits while also posing challenges that require careful consideration and management, right? Because ICT has profoundly impacted the society, bringing both positive and negative consequences. On the positive side, ICT has revolutionized communication, education, healthcare, and enhanced access to information and boosted economic growth in general. Right? But on the other hand, it also presents challenges like the digital divide. Let's talk about the digital divide later. The privacy concerns. Are you aware that we are always prone to privacy breach and much as the cybersecurity threats, diba? All our information can be exposed to the general public online, diba? And potential for social isolation in general. Okay. Now, as to the positive impact, we have enhanced communication and all of those things that we normally talk about. Okay. But on the negative impact, we have the digital divide, the privacy concern, cybersecurity threats, social isolation and addiction, job displacement, environment impact, what else? Erosion of social skills, and widespread of misinformation. Okay. So positively, excuse me. Positively, ICT improves general connectivity, streamlines processes, and increases access to information and services, fostering economic growth and social inclusion. Right? All of these things offer widespread benefits by increasing those things that we have been mentioning, all right? Including the education, the healthcare, economic opportunities, and more inclusive communities. And these factors enhance productivity through automation and streamlined operations. Also, expand business reach to new audiences and empower individuals with disabilities and remote workers through accessible tools and also platforms, right? So, when we say positive impact, there can be a lot, right? Now, why don't we be reminded of the negative impact, the challenges? They include unequal access to technology, risks to personal privacy, and cybersecurity threats that can undermine the trust and safety in the digital world. Okay? So one of them is digital divide. So this is the process. This is the gap between those who have access to and can effectively use information and communication technologies, as against those who do not, have access. Okay, and it has several negative effects. So this include social isolation. I mentioned this in the previous slide. So these are the individuals lacking internet access or digital literacy can feel isolated from social networks, community events, and essential services. This can be particularly pronounced for those in rural areas or with limited mobility, like in the Philippines, diba? So if you live near the mountains, near the rural area, you can expect there's no signal anymore, diba? Ayan. So another is barriers to education. Access to online learning platforms and digital educational resources is increasingly crucial. And the digital divide can hinder the students' ability to learn and succeed. Right? So this can lead to learning gaps and limit opportunities for both children and adults. Okay. Another one is obstacles to employment. We understand that many job applications and the recruitment processes are now online, making digital skills and internet access essential for finding and securing employment. Right? The digital divide can limit job opportunities and economic advancement for those excluded from these processes. Okay? Part of this negative aspect is exacerbated inequality. The digital divide can actually worsen existing social and economic inequalities by limiting access to essential services, education, and employment opportunities. And also, it can create a cycle of disadvantage where those already have marginalized face even greater challenge, right? I hope you can still follow me, guys. And then, what about on health impacts? The digital divide can affect access to healthcare information and services, the telemedicine and online appointments, potentially leading to poorer health outcomes for those excluded. What about the mental health? Social isolation, lack of access to resources, and the stress of navigating a digitally driven world can negatively impact mental well-being. Okay? Economic disparity is another negative impact. The digital divide can limit access to economic opportunities, potentially leading to reduced income and economic instability for individuals and communities. Much as we can experience technological discrimination, wherein individuals lacking access to technology may face discrimination in various aspects of life, further marginalizing them and limiting their opportunities. And of course, in some cases, the digital divide can hinder access to information and participation in democratic process, potentially weakening democratic institutions. So this is the erosion of what? Democracy. All right. Yeah, so try to check out how it is illustrated over here. So if you try to look at this one, you can easily be reminded that, oh, this is the evolution of man. It is also synonymous to what? The evolution of information and communication technology. Now, because as ICT continues to evolve, society must also adapt through policies, education, and innovation to maximize the benefits while also not forgetting and mitigating the risks for sustainable progress. Okay? So, the future perspectives. The emerging trends on information technology include the pervasive integration of smart, human centered technologies like AI and IoT in smart cities, also in education, and of course in healthcare, as well as advancements in computational power and high speed communications. Okay? The societal adaptation involves closing the digital divide, okay, fostering ICT literacy, upskilling the workforce, and developing the flexible, resilient systems to navigate challenges such as climate change and global disruptions. Okay, so ethical considerations around power dynamics, cultural hegemony, and the need for inclusive technological development remain very much crucial. Okay, and in conclusion or in summary, ICT has transformed how we live, how we work, how we interact, embracing its opportunities and addressing its challenges is essential for building a connected and inclusive future. And I think that ends up our discussion on the introduction to ICT or understanding ICT better with its foundation, evolution, application, and societal impact. Now, are there questions? Can I see a yes or a no? None. Edric, Faith, Keisha, Drew, and Georgina, Julianne, Daniel, Pauline, Kiesa, Crystal, Megan, Leanne, and Shirley. Maraming salamat. Ashley, Aliyah as well, Cherry May, and Grizel, right? Ayan. So, in that aspect, if there are no questions, maybe we can focus our attention, direct our attention in our LMS for the exercise number one. So that we call it prelim exercise number one. Okay. So yun lang. For those who were not called earlier during the attendance checking, please comment your names in our chat box now. And for those whose names were called for the attendance earlier, you may now direct your attention in our LMS for prelim exercise number one. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. I'll see you next week. God bless and always take care. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. God bless. God bless. Thank you, Kiesa.